All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet and in social media. My name is Judson Powell, and my glasses are always hanging up. Anyway, so I want to talk about Judge Tammy Kemp, the one that presided over the Amber Geiger trial. And now all of a sudden she's out there in the media, and she's just making all these media appearances, and she is just wilding. I mean, basically she's wilding because I don't know anybody, any sitting judge that will go on TV and talk about any aspect of any case that they had anything to do with. And there's a reason behind that. It's because you show yourself as being biased. Look, we need black judges. We need them on the bench. But when you eliminate, okay, so great. You want to talk about your religion and all that kind of stuff. Well, that's great. But that's why we have the separation of church and state. The reason is because now she has basically just wiped herself clean of being able to preside over certain trials. Why? Because if I'm a Muslim and I go up before her, the first thing I'm going to say is, well, she's a Christian and she hates me. Or if I'm a Christian and I get exonerated, what is the person going to say? They're going to say, well, the only reason why this person got off was because they're a Christian, and we know that the judge likes Christians, or the judge is a Christian. You can't bring, no matter what you think, all right? And I supported her at first. I really did. I supported her, and I was like, why are y'all tripping? She just did a kindness. But then she goes out and she explains the whole thing on national television. Why? There's no reason for it. There's no reason for her to explain anything that she did. All she had to do was do it and move on. Okay, the fact that that you're such a devout Christian and that you love all these people and all that kind of stuff, that's great. That's all well and fine. But the bottom line is that you cannot do that as a judge, as a sitting judge. I have never, and most of my friends that are in the legal profession, they will tell you in a heartbeat, she biased herself. Now, because anything that she says or anything that she does can be considered to be prejudicial. Why? Because we know what her position is on everything. Why? Because she already said it. She said it, and she should have never done that. All right, and the other thing is, and then now I'm kind of questioning her motives, because did you do this for publicity or to get out there in front of the public, or what is your ulterior motive? Because it seems like now your motives were not as pure as what you said they were. All right, at first, everybody said, well, her motives are probably pure. That's what I thought. I was like, the girl's getting ready to go to jail for 10 years. She asked for a Bible. Okay, but then again, on top of that, when you go to prison, you can get Bibles. They'll give you Bibles and all that kind of stuff. The girl, and from what she said, the girl asked her, was she able to be redeemed? And she said, yes, of course you're able to be redeemed, or whatever. All right. And is it too late for me, or whatever? I'm paraphrasing. That's not the exact quote. But what I'm trying to get at is, as a judge, you cannot do that. As a matter of fact, and now it even seems more highly prejudicial than it was before. It's extreme bias, because now she has let the fact be known, and I know because I was a pastor for a long time, so I know what the Christians are going to say. Oh, well, we can't be quiet. We have to speak up for Jesus, and we have to do this. But look, we need judges on the bench, and unbiased judges that can get some of our people out of jail. Some of our people that will end up going to jail, they'll get out because we have black judges sitting on the bench. So you have to look, what's more important? There's a whole bunch of people out there talking about Jesus. It ain't changing nothing. But judges can actually do some real, faith without works is dead. Judges can actually do some real work, but what are we going to do now? Because like I said, if I'm a lawyer and I come before her, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to say, look, my client can't get a fair trial in this courtroom because my client, and she could even be said that she's racially prejudiced, that she likes white people. If it's a black and white trial, well, this is the same judge that gave Amber Geiger, a Bible. And she likes Christians over everybody else, and then she tried to say that, after her job was already done. No, your job is not done because you're a sitting judge. Even if this is just one trial, and yes, this trial was over, but you are a sitting judge. And I know everybody won't get it and everybody don't want to get it, but she should be removed from the bench. I mean, really, she should at this point, because she basically has diminished her worth as a judge. She has no worth as a judge at this point. Because of what? Because she didn't keep her mouth shut. And the other thing is, you should never discuss cases as a judge. These are just unwritten laws. These are just things that we understand in the legal profession. You do not discuss any aspect of a case that you presided over as a judge. Because even look at the most high profile trial ever, OJ. Did Judge Ito ever come on national television or grant a big interview or anything like that? And you will never see justices from the Supreme Court. They will never talk about a case that they presided over. They might give you some background, but as far as being able to go on and give a personal opinion, or your opinion about, and you never see them give personal opinions about religion or race or anything like that, because it biases their position. Because then people will not think that they're making an impartial, fair decision. And that's what's the most important thing. And once again, I have to reiterate, what's her ulterior motive? Okay, if you want to go and you want to stump for Jesus, then quit the bench and go be a preacher. That's available. You can do that. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. But if you want to be a judge, then you have to do judges stuff. People have to understand our Constitution is very clear, and we operate within that Constitution. And when you operate outside the Constitution, as Trump is doing, we see the results. There are rules of law, and she's a judge. You have to understand there are rules of law. So like I said, I'm a lawyer. I'm going in there. Okay, I need this judge to recuse herself. Why? Because I don't think my client can get a fair trial with her. I don't believe, and that's what I mean by bias. So now the bias thing is there. She can never remove it. It's on tape. When she just walked out there and handed her a Bible and hugged her and went back to her chambers, nobody can say anything. We can all speculate, but she, what do they say about a fool? You might be a fool, but as soon as you open your mouth, you remove all doubt that you are a fool. I mean, for real. Come on now. And on top of that, it was, like I said, now you brought up the race card, because you could say that she's biased towards white people. I mean, you really could say she's biased towards white people. Why? Because Amber Geiger was white, and she showed this act of kindness and caring and Christianity towards a white person. So now if I'm black, I go in there. If my client is black, I say, well, my client can't get a fair trial in here, especially if it's a black person and the victim is white. So now how can I get a fair trial? And then, like I said, the same thing. My client is a Muslim, going up against a person, even a black, anybody who claims to be Christian. My client can't get a fair trial anymore because she's biased. We know what her decision is. We know how she feels about people in those particular groups. So We got to start thinking, because we need her on the bench. We need black judges. Yeah, is that bias? Yeah, but it's unwritten, it's unsaid. The more black politicians, the more black judges, the more black mayors, the more black governors, the more black presidents, the more black everything we get, the closer we get to being able to have some type of power and authority. But we gotta keep our mouth shut. We always want to be in the spotlight. We got to be on TV. We got to be this, that, and the other thing. But if you're going to be on TV or whatever, then do something, do something positive. Not do something to detract from what we could do to progress. And you went through all that school and everything like that, and then you just, in one fell swoop, you just take yourself out. Just take yourself out of the running. Oh, well, she this, that, and the other thing. No, she ain't this, that, and the other thing, because we know what she is now. Don't, it's like the difference between playing checkers and chess. Like all them white judges that sat on the bench, for years. I remember when I got out of law school and I was researching, and I found out that in the state of Virginia, like most of the white judges never even took the bar exam, or never even, they were just what they call read in. They went and worked for another lawyer, supposedly worked for another lawyer for a specific length of time, and then next thing you know, they were judges. They were lawyers and judges. But they never did they ever tell you that? Did you ever know that? And is that bias? Yes. But they kept it secret. They didn't come out and say, "Oh yeah, well we getting all our boys together so that we can prosecute black people and put them in jail in disproportionate numbers." Nobody ever said that. Nobody ever came out and spoke it. You can't come out, sometimes it's like playing poker. They deal, I mean, come on. If you got four aces and a joker, and you mean to tell me you gonna tell everybody that you got the 4 aces? I mean, come on, y'all. Really? I mean, really? And everybody, and then we got all these people go, oh yes, and once again it goes to that forgiveness thing. I understand how y'all feel, but you can't speak it. You can't say it out loud. You can't do it out loud. You can't, it's just ridiculous. Come on. Sometimes it's like, and this woman has education. You got it. She has at least, I know I got a law degree. I bet 7 years. I had to go to school for 7 years to get those 2 degrees, an undergraduate degree from Hampton and then my law degree. And I'm just telling you, it was a struggle. I was working hard. I had to do all my schoolwork, and I still had a wife and children to take care of. You cannot discount how difficult it is to get to that level. And then once you get to that level, you just do something that just blows it like right out the water. And I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen, because I understand the law. It's like them people are going to, as soon as I walk in the courtroom, oh, I need her to recuse herself. Why? Because my client can't get a fair trial with her. She's, we know she's biased. How? Oh, well, she was on national television. Oh my God. For real. You are on national television telling people about your religion and all that. Separation of church and state. If you ever read, I was one of those guys that I used to carry around the Constitution with me all day, every day. I had a pocket Constitution that I walked around with all day, every day. Me and another friend of mine, and we used to sit there, and that's how we parsed the law. First thing we would do is go to the Constitution, and ain't nothing that she did constitutional or gonna pass constitutional mustard if it's brought up in a court of law. It just won't. And it's unfortunate, because I was really, like I said, I was really behind her. I was pulling for her, because we need her. We really need her. So you know, I hope there's something that can be done in order to redeem this situation, but I just don't see it. Anyway, that's it. That's my 15 minutes. I love you all. I love you all. And hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, hit buttons, hit the love button.